What's going on, guys, in the Uber world? I pull on the side of the road for a second to look at something. But I actually work in the Columbia, South Carolina market, or the South Carolina market for Uber Lyft. Well, Lyft, Lyft you can drive on Mars. Uber, everybody's in their certain territories. But the concern that I have is, it's not the first time, is that I guess we'll say sitting inside surges, possibly getting a non-surge. Guys, if you can monitor what you're doing and where you are to verify if you are or not inside of a surge on those heat maps. I was actually sitting inside of the surge in downtown Charleston. I had to turn back around and drive about 60 yards to pick up someone, because I had just dropped the Uber Eats off. And I was inside of the surge, and we're talking about at least 2931. However, I got the request, which is fine, because sometimes the requests come and it don't show a surge, but then it is a surge. It didn't bother me. But I had my other phone where I actually screenshot where I was and where the pickup was, all in the same time frame. And at the end of that ride, it was not a surge. Now, sometimes people request rides that, or schedule rides, sorry, where they'll do it now for 2 hours from now or whatever. Those things are fine, blah, 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 blah. But, however, it wasn't a surge when I was sitting inside of the surge. I sent it to Uber and ask them about this right here and give them the evidence that, hey, look, this is where I was. I'm showing you a screenshot from another phone where I am, and you can see on the time that they are right there beside each other, and the request was about a minute before. So when I say a minute before, that'll give it time where if the heat map goes up or down, because I know Uber will come up with their excuses. So it comes back, of course, thank you for driving and your concern, and we want to do this and we want to do that, and thank you for responding and reporting, and the same BS that they tell you. Come to find out, allegedly I wasn't inside of the heat map when I showed them that I was inside the heat map, which I knew that was going to come back. So I sent them the evidence, thinking that I sent them the evidence that it would show. And they would, hey, look, we'll go back and correct it. But of course, Uber is more stern than Lyft. Whatever they say, they're going by. Lyft will try to work with you, but Uber will stand firm with whatever they say. Sir, yeah, at the time of the request, you weren't inside of the surge or the heat map, sorry, blah, 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 blah. Even though you sent us the evidence that you were, and the request came a minute after you took the screenshot, no, you still weren't inside the surge. Okay, cool. So it's almost like going to court, pleading your case. You have your evidence, and you're still considered guilty, and you have the evidence right here saying otherwise. But so you guys with Uber and sitting inside the surges, I'm gonna suggest getting an extra phone or tablet and just have it somewhere. Don't do nothing with it, but just use it as the heat map or Uber Lyft map. For Samsung users, you can split the screen, so you can have Uber Lyft or whatever. I usually watch a bunch of videos on my phone, so you can verify what's going on. I'm not saying chase surges. Definitely don't do that. I'm definitely not saying chase surges, but I am saying to verify that you are being paid correctly. I had an issue with Uber one time before where they told me that I'm being it's 25%, but when I did the math, it wasn't quite 25%. They were supposed to be looking into it. Of course, I hadn't heard anything from it. I doubt I will hear anything from it. But just going back to the heat map situation, folks, please verify that you're actually inside of the heat map, because when you go contest it with Uber, whatever they say, they're gonna no matter the evidence that you send them, they're gonna go by whatever it is they go by. So I'm gonna tell you, try to know exactly where you were. And then sometimes you just give up. It's just easy to just say, fuck it! And you give up. But Uber on, as the rest of the guys say.